Yesterday on our show, DeAngelo Hall said that Odell is better than DeAndre Hopkins and Mike Evans and should be the highest paid receiver. Hopkins responded to that by tweeting, "Stop speaking on my name with the nonsense. Odell is my boy, no disrespect." Good thing we have DeAngelo here with us now. And this is the perfect place for a response. So what do you got?
I'm here. I mean, if you ask 100 DBs in the National Football League, who would they rather cover? Odell Beckham or DeAndre Hopkins? They're not going to pick Odell Beckham because he's so scary. It's certain things he does with the ball in his hands after catch. It's his footwork. He was a soccer player growing up. I heard he was on the U.S. national team and decided to stick with football instead of play soccer. His footwork is impeccable at the line of scrimmage. So hard to get your hands on him. And so, absolutely, I think he's a better receiver. It's no knock against DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah. I think, the feud between me and DeAndre, goes back a couple years to a training camp incident on Hard Knocks. And, we got into a little scuffle. Me taking up for one of my teammates. DeAndre had him at the line of scrimmage, kind of hit him a couple times. And I'm like, hey, man, bro, that ain't what we here for. We here to get better. If you want to do that, we can do that. And, he has the famous line, "I fear no man but God." And, great line. Later in the training camp practice.
How did that end, by the way?
I mean, that ended. We all, kind of broke punches. Up. No punches thrown there. And, later in the training camp practice, we're together for team drills. And, he runs a double move, which is double move comeback. So he stuttered midway through his route. I'm like, oh, he ain't going vertical. So I sit on it, and I go to plant, and I just, slip out my cleat a little bit, twist my ankle. And I don't see this there. Because if I would have saw this there on the field, who knows what would have happened. But so I see it later on as it's airing on TV or someone else tells me about it, and it becomes this huge social media kind of meme takeover that he shook me out my cleat. And I'm like, first of all, you can't shake nobody running in a straight line. Like, you got to give me something.
Right.
But if anybody who's played the position understands when you see that receiver start stuttering at 2-3 yards, he's just stuttering to come back. And Skip jumped out my shoes. I wish I had the clip. Literally jumped out my shoes. I was trying to break on that ball so fast and aggressively, and I just slipped. And so, I haven't commented on that because, football players, you're going to make a play, you're going to give up a play. Oh, well. And so I've kind of let that kind of live. But I felt like, man, I needed to talk about that. Because
you just did.
If that's the reason he feels as though I need to keep his name out of my mouth, then, I mean, he's silly. He is absolutely silly. He needs to sit down and be real with himself. Like I said, he's a great receiver. I'm not taking anything from him. He is a top 5 receiver in this league. He's shown that. And so I don't take anything away from his playmaking ability. But if I'm a DB, and you can ask a lot of other DBs who would they rather cover or who's an easier cover, and not saying that easy cover means, I'm going to kill him every time. It just means, look, this dude is a little more explosive, a little more shifty, makes a little, bigger plays. And so that's the guy,
But in DeAndre's next sentence in the tweet, then he's paying respect.
Yeah, no respect. No disrespect, OBJ.
Like I think he's saying the same thing.
I'm better than you, but
no.
But no disrespect. I'm not really saying I'm better than you.
That's exactly how that came across.
Tell him you're better than him.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, tell him. Don't tell me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Done.
He got you caught in the middle of that. He got you in the middle of that.
I'm glad that it was nice to get the response.
That was a good, solid response.
No problem.